Welcome back to the Daily Hunt, everyone. It's Sunday, March 1st, 2026, and you're here with Ethan, your growth-oriented stock analyst.
And I'm Brooke, your KPI-driven investor, always keeping an eye on that risk management. Thanks for tuning in.
So, we usually come to you with fresh AI-generated insights, flagging new opportunities. But today, it was a little quiet on the new pick front. Our AI didn't identify any standout stock opportunities, which, sometimes happens in the market.
Exactly. A quiet day for new alerts means a perfect chance to do something super important. Look back. We believe in learning from the past, so we're diving into the performance of the stocks our AI flagged between February 16th and February 20th, 2026. Let's see how those picks have played out, shall we?
Absolutely. And to kick things off, let's talk about some real standout potential. Now, while it's had a bit of a journey, NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, really flashed some impressive early gains. Our AI had it as a speculative gamble on February 17th at $187.82. And Brooke, get this, it surged to $197.36. That's a plus 5.08% jump in just 8 days. Talk about upside potential.
Whoa, slow down there, Ethan, before you break out the party hats. While that peak was indeed notable, the real-world scenario by yesterday's close, March 1st, tells a slightly different story. NVDA closed at $177.16, which is actually down minus 5.67% from its initial mention price. It shows the incredible volatility that comes with those speculative gamble tags. Big swings, yes, but not always in the sustained upward direction. It's a classic example of needing to manage those expectations, Fair point, Brooke, fair point. It just goes to show you how quickly things can move in the tech space. But still, that peak performance, that glimpse of significant growth, is what we're always hunting for. Indeed, the potential is there, but so is the risk. And speaking of risk, let's pivot to our toughest performer from that period, AeroVironment, AVAV, which our AI flagged as a speculative gamble on February 20th at $277. Unfortunately, it really didn't find its footing, staying at that $277 peak, which means 0% gain from its mention. And by yesterday's close, it was sitting at $252.32, a drop of nearly 9% at minus 8.91%. That's a pretty significant tumble in a short amount of time, highlighting the higher risk nature of some of these speculative plays.
Yeah, that one definitely didn't fly as high as we'd hoped. No pun intended. It's a reminder that not every growth story takes off immediately. And, well, sometimes they can dip.
Okay, let's do a quick rundown of the rest of our picks from that February 16th to 20th period.
All right, first up, Zim Integrated Shipping Services, Zim, mentioned on Feb 17th as a buy. It saw a nice initial bump, peaking at plus 2.13%. Yesterday, it closed up a modest plus 0.52% from its mention price. Not a huge mover, but held some ground. Then we had Amazon, AMZN, a buy on Feb 18th. It also saw a smaller peak, about plus 1.07%, and closed yesterday up a respectable plus 0.75%. Pretty stable, which is what you'd expect from a blue-chip buy pick. Microsoft, MSFT, another buy on Feb 18th. It had a modest peak of plus 1.26%, but it closed down a little yesterday, about minus 1.04% from its initial price. A slight dip, but nothing dramatic for a company of its caliber. Micron Technology, MU, also a buy on Feb 18th. It peaked at plus 2.52%, but ended yesterday down minus 2.58%. A bit more movement there, showing that even buy ratings can see some volatility. MicroStrategy, MSTR, that was a speculative gamble on Feb 18th. It saw a peak of plus 2.28%, but then, it closed down minus 2.94% yesterday. Again, that speculative tag often comes with more pronounced swings. And Western Digital, WDC, a buy pick on Feb 19th. It managed a peak of plus 2.58%, but unfortunately closed yesterday down minus 2.79%. Finally, Oklo Inc., OKLO, another speculative gamble on Feb 19th. It peaked at a decent plus 5.05%, but ultimately, closed down minus 4.43%. So to sum up this review, it looks like the week of February 16th to 20th was a pretty mixed bag. Our speculative gamble picks, on average, saw higher potential peaks, but also experienced steeper retractions, with an average return of minus 5.49% at yesterday's close. And our buy-rated opportunities, while not experiencing those explosive early gains, were generally a bit more stable, though they also saw an average dip of minus 1.03% by yesterday's close. It really underscores the current market environment, Absolutely. It shows that even with AI-generated insights, market commentary is exactly that, commentary. That's right. And speaking of commentary, we need to reiterate that all this information we've discussed today is purely based on historical data and AI-generated insights. It's not a crystal ball for what might happen tomorrow. Precisely. The past performance of any stock is absolutely not an indicator of future results. Artificial intelligence, while powerful, can make mistakes, and market conditions change rapidly. This is speculative analysis, not a guarantee. So please, always conduct your own thorough research. And if you're ever in doubt, consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Your financial journey is unique to you. Thanks for joining us for this special review episode of The Daily Hunt. We'll be back soon with more AI-generated insights and market commentary. Until then, keep hunting smart.